The current exercise recommendations don't necessarily make that easier for us. They can seem pretty overwhelming. The recommendations for adults is that moderate intense aerobic activity should be 150 to 300 minutes a week, or 30 minutes 5 days a week, or 5 days a week. Or you can use vigorous intensity aerobic activity and exercise 75 to 150 minutes a week. That is on top of the strength training recommendations, which are 2 days a week for all major muscle groups, completing at least one set of 8 to 12 repetitions until fatigue. This isn't even including recommendations of with mobility, balance, or speed development as we age. So when people see this, I think they're often overwhelmed and feel like this is an out of reach goal. Um, and one thing I want to remind you is that the recommendations are not the right starting place for everyone. And I use an example of a gym class quite a bit that I'll show you in the next slide, because the things we want to consider here is that relative, and it is a component called relative intensity, and that's that not everyone is the same. So in a gym class, if you have maybe a 3-sport athlete running sprints next to someone who's been sedentary, you could see a big difference in maybe what looks like effort to some or quality to some, but the person running the sprints and winning may only be working half as hard as someone who's really struggling to complete the sprints because that person has never done it before. That's relative intensity. You have to find the exercise that's right for you relative to your current fitness level and capabilities. The other thing is that exercise is a mile wide and a mile deep, and your style of exercise should reflect your goals. So if you want to be a strong man and lift rocks, well, then your exercise needs to include that. If you want to be able to walk several blocks with your friends, then our exercise needs to shape you to be able to do that. And ultimately, anything is better than nothing. The current health recommendations show that even just 1 minute a week of increased activity has health benefits. So it doesn't take much to start to create that positive change in your life to see these benefits from physical well-being. But ultimately, the combination of not knowing where to start, having a poor relative intensity for your goals, or having low priority leads to failed results.